Big Dream Production presents Looking Forward with Natalie. Episode 1.
Hi, my name is Natalia Foley. I'm an attorney, a journalist, and writer, and an actress, and also a spiritual counselor. But it's not why I'm here today before you on the screen. I'm here because I want to talk to you about your dreams. As of today, November 2022, we finally reached 8 billion population on Earth. That means that every night, 8 billion Earthlings see approximately 8 billion dreams or more. Every night, 365 days a year, every year, humans see dreams from the beginning of time. And yet, we still have no idea what is the purpose of our dream, why do we see them, and where our dreams are coming from. I'm serious. Scientists, they have very vague answers to those questions. Some believe that dreams have no purpose at all, that this is just a side effect of processing our daily information by our brain. Others, and I'm talking about psychiatrists right now, like Sigmund Freud, he believed that our dreams are simply fulfillment of our wishes. Who was Sigmund Freud? We must know this name if we're talking about dream interpretation or psychotherapy. Why? Because he invented both those things. Before Freud, there was no psychotherapy, there was psychiatry. And in regard to dream interpretation, there was no scientific basis for dream interpretation. He was the one who invented that. First, he discovered what is psychotherapy. It was accidental. He had a client that he was working with, and he believed that that treatment was going nowhere. It was frustrating, it was upsetting, and he was very surprised when that woman client came to him to tell him thank you and to quit because she was cured. He couldn't believe it. He thought maybe she was joking or mocking him, but she was serious. And then he realized that woman was talking to him. And by the way of talking, she was working on her issues. And he realized that talking was therapeutic. That was a discovery that allows us to have our psychotherapy today. The other thing that he did, it was dream interpretation. Of course, people saw dreams before Freud. Of course, they've been interpreting those dreams. However, he was the first one who provided a scientific basis for dream interpretation, explaining how it reflects our psyche. Whatever we have today as a dream interpretation and psychotherapy, we owe him. Of course, there are much more about Freud, his life story, his development of different directions in psychotherapy, psychoanalysis. But we just don't have time to talk about it, so I'm highlighting the most important things for us today. His biggest competitor, Carl Jung, believed that our dreams are compensations of our unrealized desires. Who was Carl Jung? Carl Jung was born in Switzerland in 1875. He was younger than Freud. Carl Jung was born in a pretty wealthy family, well established, where he had in his ancestry priests and medical professors. So he kind of wanted to be both, but what predetermined his choice, it was his mother. She was unfortunately a very depressed woman. Even though Jung wanted to be a preacher at the beginning of his life, he decided to become a medical doctor so he can help people like his mother. He developed his own theory of psychotherapy, and specifically he was interested in dealing with dream interpretation. So his connection with Freud at that time was natural because Freud was the highest authority in dream interpretation. However, Jung was perhaps one of his harshest critics. He believed that the theory of subconscious that supports dream interpretation, the theory of subconscious by Freud, was too narrow-tailored and didn't reflect everything that was going on in our psyche. So he developed his own theory of dream interpretation, and he invented human archetypes that he used to understand human interaction in the society. The main difference between Jung vision and Freud vision is the direction. Freud is dealing with the past, so usually he's looking back. He's trying to understand your present from the position of your past and address those issues that were unfortunately left behind untouched. Jung, on the other hand, is dealing with your present. He is dissecting your present, trying to understand the tendencies of your behavior so he can program and build a better future for his client. That would be a very short explanation of the differences among those two guys. By the way, their dynamic, their friendship, and the whole story related to their development of their theories is amazing. And if you are interested in that, you are welcome to attend my workshop on Jung and Freud theories of dream interpretation. I do it usually once a year, and it can provide you with so much insight and inspiration that you will benefit for years to come. My seminar will be announced at the beginning of the next year. But if that would be true, how would you explain the phenomena, let's say, Edgar Cayce? I'm sure you've heard about him. This is one of the most recorded in the human history clairvoyants. He was diagnosing people and prescribing them medical treatment while being in the state of sleep. He had no medical education. This guy was recorded for years. His institute has more than 14,000 recordings of his dreams available to people. So you can go and check it for yourself and create your own idea. What was it? How it was possible? So if it's true, what the Freud said, that our dreams is the royal road to our subconscious, what is our subconscious? Is it connected to our brain? Is it connected just to our memories? Or is it connected to something bigger than that? Think about it. We're spending approximately 8 hours a day by dreaming. You might object to that. You might say, no, not necessary. We are not dreaming for the entire 8 hours. We're just sleeping for 8 hours and we see dreams for much shorter period of time. But this is an old science. Modern scientists in France were able to prove last year that we see dreams throughout the whole duration of our sleep. If it is 8 hours, then we see our dreams for 8 hours. We simply do not remember that. So, what that 8 hours represent? This is 1/3 of the whole day that we have. Let that sink into your mind. We sleep 1/3 of our life. Can it be accidental? Can it be true that our dreams have no purpose whatsoever? I doubt that. First of all, we are created by God. There is nothing accidental in it. There is nothing accidental in our body. There is meaning and purpose in each little cell of our body, in each little lash, in each little pimple on our face or on our body. Could you imagine, just imagine that God gave us 8 hours of our day or third of our life just because he didn't have any fantasy how to entertain us for that time? It sounds laughable. It sounds unrealistic, and it sounds impossible. So if we still don't know the answer to our question, why do we see dreams, where they're coming from, perhaps that was the God intention to move us into that direction so we can think about it, we can discuss it, and we can finally discover it. So let's talk about our dreams and its meaning in our life. Where do we even start? Let's talk about our psyche. And this is actually why I'm here, because I want you to learn a lot about yourselves. I want you to be smart, I want you to be educated, and I want you to be able to catch other people on their mistakes. Because whenever you are watching some documentaries online or listening to some scientist commenting on our dreams, on our conscious, subconscious, they have no idea what they're talking about. Notice that they often use those terms interchangeably, and it's wrong. Let's look at this picture. This is the picture that represents the construction of our mind, which is not exactly that is construction of our brain, right? So what is bigger, mind or brain? I'm just asking this question, and we will return to that later. Imagine that our psyche is an iceberg, and the tip of that iceberg is our conscious. So let me compare it with operating memory in the computer. I hope everyone has a computer, and you know that when your operating memory is full, computer is not functioning. Basically, it's freezing, it's causing you trouble. So what do? You stop, you reboot, you clean up your operating memory, because you know that you have a hard drive, which is much bigger and much faster than your operating memory. That's what's happening to us, pretty much. It's a simplification, of course, but that's what is happening when we're sleeping. So we have our conscious. The easiest definition of our conscious would be our immediate awareness of something happening around us, with us, in our surrounding. This is something that you need every second of your daily life to navigate through it, to operate, to communicate with people. You cannot keep in your awareness, immediate awareness, all the memories that you have about your life. You keep only what is necessary to complete your daily tasks. So that would be our conscious. And when some people online, I'm not pointing fingers, they're talking about collective consciousness, communicating through consciousness, just understand they have no idea what they're talking about. They really don't understand what consciousness is. So now let's go back to that picture and see that there is a bottom part of that iceberg, and we call it unconscious, subconscious matter. It's like subterranean area of our conscious, what it is. And that's the question that we don't know the answer, or our science does not want to accept the answer that is available. Freud believed that our subconscious, he called it unconscious matter, is very narrow tailored, and it's connected only to our own personal memories of our life. He was criticized for that by his colleague and friend, and then at some point enemy, Carl Jung, who believed that subconscious is much bigger than our memories. And he was the one who used the term collective subconscious, because he believed that that's where we are connected, in our subconscious area, because it's connected to the cultural surrounding and environment where we are. Probably he was right. However, he linked that particular subconscious not just to the cultural layer of our environment. He linked that to a particular Tibetan theory of human communication, which culturally was never attached to the society where he lived and the society that he was analyzing. By the way, this is one of the reasons many people might not agree with me, but this is one of the reasons why Carl Jung is not as popular as Freud. Freud was operating on a general ideas related to the whole human civilization, and Carl Jung intentionally linked our civilization to a particular culture that is not that widely popular. And there are another things that are related to that, and I don't want to touch it in our today conversation, but just I want you to know that subconscious is much bigger. And to prove that, I'll ask you a question, and I hope that you will send me your answer to my mail so we can continue on our conversation. Did you ever have some kind of prophecy dreams? Did you ever see in your dreams your dead relatives? And if yes, in which way? Did you ever see in your dreams something that you've never seen before in your entire life and you have no idea where it's coming from? Did you ever learn anything from your own dreams? This is an important question, by the way. I did. I communicate through dreams with the universe my whole entire life. And I remember when it started, I was a little girl. I was 3 years old, and my grandma was trying to teach me how to tie my laces on my shoes. And I couldn't figure out how to do it in my real life. And I was very upset and I was ashamed of myself because in my kindergarten, everyone already could do that and I couldn't. So one night I was crying before to go to sleep, and I was talking to God and I was asking Him to show me how to do that little thing. And I saw it. I still see that dream before my eyes, as vivid as it was then when I was 3 years old. I saw how to tie the laces on my shoes. And I woke up, and the first thing I did it in my real life. I learned it from my dream. You can argue that in many different ways, trying to explain that by prior examples or whatever. The fact is that I saw it in my dream, and that's how I learned it. So if you have anything like that related to your dream and you want to share it with me, I would really appreciate it, because then we will have our dialogue and it would be much easier for me to continue our conversation. But I want to move forward right now. Why I'm even talking about our dreams? Because today it's more important than ever. Because I believe that our dreams today perhaps represent the last bastion of our freedom. This is the last place in our life where we're really, really free. I want you to think about it. Why I call it bastion, castle? Because this is the only area of our reality that belongs to us, and nobody else is invading that, until our amazing tech companies will learn how to interfere with our dreams, and then our freedom will end. You might ask me why I'm calling our dreams our reality. Yes, I do believe that our reality and our dreams are interconnected. I basically believe that our dreams is a part of our reality. It is a reality, just different kind of reality. Anyone who's listening to me right now probably wants to ask me a question. Why I call dream a reality? Well, I'll send you to the Bible right now. You remember the Bible said, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. What that means? Why I'm referring to word right now? Because word is a piece of information. It's some unit of information that was at the very beginning. Everything started from an exchange of the information. Think about it. The whole life, the whole universe, everything started from God, and God was the Word, and Word is the information. And now physicists can confirm that. What they're saying that based on their quantum universe understanding, the quantum universe started with the exchange of the information. It's important because what's happening when we're seeing our dreams, we create new reality. We create an information. We emit some pieces of information in the universe. Our dreams are there in our subconscious, and every night we generate new and new dreams. Does it mean that we generate a new reality? Perhaps. You might be surprised with that answer, but this is true. We generate an alternative reality, maybe new dimension, maybe something else. We still need to do a lot of research, but based on modern science, every dream represents a new dimension. And now I want you to tell me why that dimension is less real than the other dimension where we wake up every day. This is such an important question. This is such a cornerstone question for our understanding of our dreams and how we can be influenced through our dreams, not only by God, but by some other actors that might not be guided by their best intentions toward us. I'm not a preacher, I'm an attorney and spiritual counselor, but I want to send you back to Bible and see how many times Bible was referring to some dreams that people are seeing. And those dreams were represented as a way of God to communicate with us. If you remember, Lord said to Paul one night in a vision, "Don't be afraid, but go on speaking and do not be silent." Or another example, when the mystery was revealed to Daniel in a vision of the night, then Daniel blessed the God of heaven. Or God spoke to Israel in vision of the night and said, "Jacob, Jacob." And he said, "Here I am." This is just very few examples. If you go to Bible, you will see much more examples of communication of God with us, his children, through our dreams. But there is another place in the Bible. Lord is talking about hosts. He's saying, "Do not listen to the word of the prophets who prophesy to you, filling you with vain hopes. They speak vision of their own mind not from the mouth of the Lord. So this is a warning. This is a warning that God can talk to us through our dreams, but unfortunately, other actors can also do that. And we have to be very careful to distinguish between something that belongs to God and something that belongs to the opposing party. It's not something that you just heard first time in your life. We all have that understanding, with the exception that now we are dealing with artificial interference with our dreams coming from big tech companies. They want to possess our soul through our dreams. They want to manipulate our conscious through our subconscious. And now they are attempting on our dreams. That's why I'm here today. That's why I want to continue that conversation about our dreams, about our life, about spiritual counseling. And I want to teach you how to protect yourself, how to be strong, how to have that awareness that our subconscious might be under attack. That's why I want to come back to that little picture. You remember that iceberg, and show you another layer that we didn't discuss, and it's called critical mind. Our critical mind is our biggest protection in our real life. That's why I'm here. I want to teach you how to use our critical mind, how to protect it from distraction by the forces that are really, really vicious, that are surrounding us throughout media, through all channels of communications that we have. Because maybe you already know that it's our critical mind, our children's critical mind, that is constantly attacked in order to get the access to our subconscious. I will stop right now. I know it's a lot of things to process, and I hope you will. And I hope you contact me at my email that you can see below. Please share with me your thoughts, give me your feedback, so we will continue our communication in the most effective and beneficial to you way. Thank you for listening. See you next week, Monday at 4 p.m.